Hello, and welcome to an outstanding episode. What? I'm saying hello to the people. Welcome to an outstanding episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your robust and vigorous host, Davo. Kels, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
Neil?
I've got a question for you, Davo.
Yes.
Often during your introductions, you introduce a show as scintillating or outstanding or interesting, but we haven't even recorded it yet. So how do you know it's going to be that?
Because I know who we are, and I know who our guest host questionnaire is.
Who's that?
Anthony. How you doing?
How you doing, guys? Good, and you guys?
Yeah, pretty good.
Well, I'm feeling robust and vigorous.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I'm going to win today. I'm just going to put it out there. Into a microphone.
Oh.
I'm going to win today.
Into a hot mic, too.
Hot mic. I'm going to win. Anthony, what's on the menu for today?
Today's topic is famous killers.
See, that's wonderful. Not
Wow.
that they're killing people. Question 1?
You ready? Got nothing, huh? You don't want to talk about it?
I don't think I can say anything to make that better.
No, you can't. There's no band-aids for that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The first category we have is called Nice Try. Question number 1 in Nice Try is, this teenager, nicknamed the Long Island Lolita, is best known for her botched murder attempt of her alleged lover's spouse, Mary Jo. She served 7 years of her sentence before being paroled in 1999. Since her release, she has written 2 books about the incident and has been in multiple adult films. Name the Long Island Lolita.
Oh, I think I got it. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in with a adjacent answer.
I
Davo?
know who this is. It was relentlessly
personally?
on TV. Yeah, we went to high school together. It was relentlessly on TV. But I cannot remember her last name. So I am locked in with an answer.
All right, let's go with Kels.
I want to say it was Amy Fisher.
Neil?
I wrote down Buttafuoco, but that was her victim, not the person doing the crime.
And Davo.
I wrote down Amy Letourneau.
The correct answer is Amy Fisher.
Letourneau, she was Mary Kay Letourneau. She was hooking up with her student.
Yes.
Billy Blau.
I don't have any questions about that.
Good. Because that's gross.
Didn't they get married?
They did and have like 3 kids.
Wow.
Question number 2. This self-proclaimed fifth Beatle was cleared of the attempted murder of George Harrison, but placed in a secure psychiatric hospital indefinitely due to insanity. His mother also claims he believed the Beatles were witches and he was on a mission from God to kill Harrison. Name the self-proclaimed fifth Beatle.
Could it be Amy Fisher again?
She was busy. I'm locked in.
All right, I'm locked in.
All right, Neil?
Yeah, I'm locked in too, but it's wrong.
All right, around the board, let's go with Davo first.
I wrote down Pete Best, the actual fifth Beatle.
Kels?
I thought Pete Best, but I didn't see him as like the killer type. Well, I don't know him that well, but just didn't strike me as that. So I wrote down the more educated answer, Sagittaria Jefferson.
All right. And Neil?
So I was obviously when you think of the fifth Beatle, you think of Pete Best, but I also don't think he was remotely like a killer. So I went with someone else who sometimes I think referred to as the fifth Beatle, Epstein. I think his first name was Brian.
No one got this one. His name is Michael Abram. And I'm not sure if you guys remember. So the story is he basically broke into the house with a knife, and George Harrison ran after him. He was stabbed like 40 times. It was international news because he's one of the Beatles. Ring a
Wait a
bell?
minute. Did George Harrison stab the dude 40 times, or was George Harrison stabbed 40 times?
He was stabbed 40 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He lost part of a lung, and actually, I think that he got stabbed 40. It's an interesting story. He got stabbed around 40 times, and the guy ended up trying to strangle George Harrison's wife after, but I guess he exerted all of his energy while he was hitting George or stabbing George Harrison because she knocked him out, I guess, with the poker from the fire before the cops got there.
Holy crap.
So-
I had never heard of this.
Me either. What year was this?
It's 1999.
99?
Yeah.
George Harrison?
1999.
Wow.
I have no recollection of this.
I can tell, and I apologize, guys. I tried to
No.
come up with some that was a little bit. I noticed that Kels is a little out of the loop with all of the old timer cult talk, so I tried to make sure that I got stuff that was a little more in the now.
I appreciate
No, that was
that,
great.
but
No,
yeah.
we here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast like to educate as well as entertain.
It's a two-way street.
Question number 3. Larry Flint, the creator of Hustler, was partially paralyzed when he was shot during a legal battle related to obscenity. The attacker, nicknamed the Racist Killer, confessed to the shooting as well as the attempted murder of Vernon Jordan, but was never convicted. He was, however, convicted of multiple other murders and was executed by lethal injection in 2013. Name the Racist Killer.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Struggling, but I'm locked in.
All right, let's go with Neil.
Johnson.
Davo.
Ernest P. Worrell.
And Kels.
John Smith.
All right, the guy's name, no one got this one. The guy's name is James Clayton Vaughn Jr.
It's not ringing
No.
the bell.
And it's interesting because when I looked this guy up, the name didn't seem so familiar until I looked at his face. When I saw the guy, I was like, I've actually seen this before. It might have just been something I watched on ID or something like that, but like when I saw him, I was familiar with the person. Question number 4. I don't think any good vibrations were going through the stick that this famous musician actor used to beat a Vietnamese man named Van Lam, or his fist later that day when he punched another Vietnamese man named Johnny Trent. The original charge was for attempted murder, but they were reduced to criminal contempt. Name this attacker.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm just thinking. Okay, I'm locked in.
All right, let's go with Kels first.
Okay, I believe it was the lead, the front man for the Funky Bunch, Mr. Mark Wahlberg.
And Neil.
I going from the good vibrations thing. I just pictured a Beach Boys, so I said Brian Wilson.
And Davo.
I went with Mark Wahlberg.
And you guys would be correct. It is Mark Wahlberg.
What's the good vibrations reference? I didn't get that.
It's the name of the song. Is it his only hit? I feel like he only had one hit. I know that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's his
Okay.
only hit. No pun intended, and I apologize to the people who got hit, but it was his only hit. All right, guys, we have scores up to this point.
After round 1, Neil is got a perfect 0. Davo's got 10, and Kels has 20.
I feel that that's actually the hardest category. After that, I think they're a little bit
I
better.
hope so.
So let's go on to round 2, which is fictitious fatalities. Question number 1. This terminal cancer patient turned to testing people's will to live after living through a suicide attempt and deciding he wanted to live. Through the series, he also recruits others to test the will of people, knowing he will ultimately succumb to his illness. He dies in the third movie of the series. Name this character, not his alias, and series.
Oh,
And these questions, I want to give 5 points for the person and 5 points for the series. So each one of these will be like that.
You are a wonderful host, but I don't like you right now.
I cannot think of his name.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, let's go with Davo.
I was really excited for a moment because I felt like I knew the answer. I felt good about it. But then you threw that curveball at me, buckled my knees, so I do not know the name of the character. I know his alias, but the franchise was the Saw franchise. And I wrote down his alias, but I'm not going to say it.
All right.
All right, I'll
There's
say
a
it.
reason
Jigsaw.
why.
Jigsaw.
There's a reason. There you go. There's a reason why I took that out. I'll tell you in a minute. Kels?
Well, Saw is the series, and I want to say his first name was John, but I completely whipped on the last name, so I just wrote Stevens.
And Neil.
Once it clicked, I knew it immediately because this is one of my favorite series, and I couldn't go home tonight if I got this one wrong. His name was John. His last name was Kramer, and the series is Saw.
And that would be correct. It's John Kramer, and the series is Saw. If we would have done this question a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, you've been able to use his alias. But since they named a movie Jigsaw, I couldn't really use the alias since it's in one of the movies. All right, question number 2. Also known as the Lakeshore Strangler, this killer is fatally shot within the beginning minutes of the movie. Before his death, he is able to use voodoo and his amulet, the Heart of Dumbala, to transfer his soul into a good guy doll. Name this character, not the doll, and movie.
Locked in.
Before you lock in, there is a bonus as well. He is named after 3 notorious killers. I will give you 1 point each for each killer that you can name.
All right. Relocking in.
I've got 2 of them. I can't remember the third.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
All right, let's go with Davo first.
Well, I had no idea. Because once again, you're being a stinker and not letting me use aliases. So I know the movie is Child's Play. And the doll is Chucky and that, but I don't really watch slasher films very much, so I didn't know the character's name.
Did you punt?
No, I locked in Child's Play for the name of the movie.
You did. Okay, gotcha.
I just didn't do
Kels?
anything with the actor, with the name of the character or the killers.
Kels?
Okay. Well, this is in my wheelhouse. I was terrified by this as a child, but I believe his name was Charles Lee Ray. The movie series is indeed Child's Play, and I can only come up with 2 of the famous killers that he's named after: James L. Ray and Lee Harvey Oswald.
All right. I'll tell you now, you're gonna kill yourself for the other name. You're gonna be like, oh man, why did I not think of that? Because it was an answer last week.
It was Charles Lee Ray and Child's Play and Manson, Oswald, and James Earl Ray.
That is correct. Neil gets full points, full bonus, and the bonus is 1 point per person.
13.
And Kels has everything but 1 point, I believe.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I got 12.
Davo came in with 5 points, correct, for getting the movie.
Yes. Woo!
All right, question number 3. This killer was permanently injured when he was shot by his young son in the leg, leaving him with a limp. He is eventually caught and is placed on death row. On his execution date, he is seen performing black magic in his cell. After his execution, he uses electricity to pass from person to person to continue his killing spree. Name this killer and movie. This one is not a series.
Until you just described it, I didn't even know it was a movie.
I'm locked in with half of it.
Would you like me to give a hint and maybe it will help you on the other half?
Okay.
So, to try and put it together, maybe it'll help a little bit. The director who did this movie did a bunch of horror movies at the time. And his name is Wes Craven.
That didn't help me.
So if that helps anyone.
I've still got half.
Yeah, it didn't help me at all. But thanks for the attempt. I'm locked in with an answer.
I'm locked in.
All right. Yeah, this movie is definitely a product of the late 80s. If you guys haven't had a chance to see it, you get a laugh outside of the 700 F-bombs that are in the movie. Neil, what you got?
The movie was Shocker, but I don't know who the character was.
All right. And Kels?
I said Scar from Lion King to Electric Boogaloo.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the last question in category 2. Question number 4. The serial killer's MO was acting injured to get help from potential victims. Once they were vulnerable, he would attack and kidnap them before finally killing them and keeping pieces of their skin to create a bodysuit. He is quoted as saying, "It puts the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again." Name this killer, and I will let you use the alias this time since it's not.
Thank you very much.
Also name the movie.
Okay, I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in.
All right, let's go with Davo.
I put down Buffalo Bill, and the movie is Silence of the Lambs.
And Kels?
I also wrote down Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs.
All right, and Neil?
Ditto.
That's not the right answer.
I also said Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs.
All right.
Better?
It is Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs. The guy's actual name is James Gum, or James Gum.
Dang gum. Damn it.
You knew that?
Yeah. Because he was, it was his female alias. Well, he wanted to become a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he turned into Jane Gum, yeah. What are the points through round 2?
See, Davo has 30, Neil has 38, and Kels has 47.
Oh.
All right, next category. Category number 3 is Oops, I Did It Again and Again and Again. Question number 1. Later labeled as one of the United States' first serial killers and the creator of what would eventually be called the Murder House, this con artist conned his friend and accomplice Benjamin Peitzel of faking his death to collect insurance money, but instead of faking Peitzel's death, he actually murdered him. A brief stint in jail ended up being his demise after a failed attempt to recruit Marion Hedgepeth on the insurance scheme. Hedgepeth later told the authorities of the plot, but this killer was not arrested until he also killed 3 of the Peitzel's children. Name this serial killer. And I will take the name that most people know him by, not his actual given name.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, let's go with Neil.
There's this really great book called The Devil in the White City, which is all about this guy, and it tells he built this hotel about the same time as the Chicago World Expo in like the 1890s, and it kind of tells how he got a lot of his victims because of the World Expo, and there were so many people coming to Chicago and nobody could track him down and stuff. Anyway, his name was H.H. Holmes.
And Kels?
I didn't know all that information, so I just went with X-Wing at Aliciousness.
All right.
Aliciousness.
and Davo, what you got?
See, I also knew who this guy was, but I wrote down H.H. I could not think of his last name because I got stuck on Homer Hickam. So literally all I wrote down was H.H.
You didn't put Helmsley?
So close.
No, I thought about Helmsley, but I got stuck on Homer Hickam.
Well, Neil is the only one who got the entire name. It's actually an alias. His real name was Herman Webster Mudgett. There's also a documentary. It used to be on Netflix for H.H. Holmes.
It was
It's
really good.
actually not bad. I haven't read the whole book. I read a little bit of that book that Neil was talking about, but I lost track of time and it's sitting on the shelf.
It's the best serial killer / World Expo book I've ever read.
Is it the only one you've read?
Combines two of my favorite things.
All right, guys, let's move on to question number 2. This serial killer is known for burying his victims in the crawl space under his house. He is also known for doing charity events and dressing up as either Patches or Pogo the Clown. Of the 33 victims removed from his crawl space, only 27 were ever identified. Name this serial killer.
Oh my
Locked in.
gosh.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, let's go with Davo.
John Wayne Gacy.
All right, and Kels.
John Wayne Gacy.
All right, and Neil.
I just wrote Gacy.
Everyone gets question number 2, John Wayne Gacy. On to question number 3. Although later claiming his demonic possession and the voices he heard from his neighbor Sam's dog Harvey was a hoax, he is still referred to as the Son of Sam. He pleaded guilty to murder in the second degree and attempted murder in the second degree. He was sentenced to 25 years to life for each of his 6 murders. Name this serial killer.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, Kels, you locked in?
Yeah, I locked in.
All right, let's go with Neil.
Berkowitz, David.
Oh, I like that. Like we're filing it in the file cabinet. Let's go with Kels.
I wrote same song. I thought the same. I thought the same song. It's the Son of Sam. I didn't know.
And Davo. What you got?
David Berkowitz.
All right. The answer is David Berkowitz. Neil and Davo get the points. All right, let's move on to the final question. And oops, I did it again and again and again. This serial killer confessed to killing 8 people and attempting to kill his father. He is most known for killing students at the University of Florida and posing them post-mortem. Name this serial killer.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in with the wrong answer.
Let's go with Kels.
Florida Man Prime.
And Neil.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is the right answer, but I know he was from Florida, so I said Ted Bundy.
And Davo.
I also said Ted Bundy, but I don't think it's right.
It is not right.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy murdered students at the Florida State University. The University of Florida was Danny Rawling.
Oh,
I'm
man.
unfamiliar with his work.
That's probably a good thing. All right, so that is through 3. What do we got for scores?
Davo with 50, Kels with 57, and Neil takes the lead with 68.
It's fun while it lasted.
If you've enjoyed this rather ghoulish episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast with these ne'er-do-wells and horrible killers,
Hey,
we have a Twitter account that you can tell us all about it.
you talking about me? You called me a serial killer. And
I'm maybe alluding to you. I'm alluding, not directly. Alluding. Check out our Twitter account at Ladle Brain. Check out our Facebook page, Brain Ladle Productions. You can email us, Neil the Serial Killer at brainladle.com.
that email will not work.
Kels at brainladle.com. And Davo at brainladle.com. And be sure to check out that Patreon page we've got up there. Every little bit helps. On to round 4.
Oh, real quick, can I throw something in there?
Yeah.
Neil, I just saw it. We put you on the Maggot Brain album cover. except at the top it says ladle brain.
Oh, that's perfect. I need that to happen.
Oh, that's amazing. We're going to do it.
All right, category number 4. The one that got away. Question number 1. This famous serial killer from Whitechapel is best known for slicing the throats of prostitutes prior to abdominal mutations with surgical precision. Name this killer.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Neil
Jack the Ripper.
and Kels
Jacques Le Ripper.
and Davo.
Jack the Ripper.
Everybody gets points this one. It is Jack the Ripper. Question number 2. This killer claims to have killed over 30 people, but authorities agree on only 7 victims, 2 of which survived. He taunted police by calling and reporting one of the murders and also wrote 3 letters to local press with cryptograms. To date, only one of the cryptograms has been confirmed solved. Name this killer.
Locked in.
Locked in.
I'm locked in also.
All right, let's go the other way. Davo
The Zodiac Killer.
and Kels
The Zodiac Killer.
and Neil.
I also answered the Zodiac Killer.
And you all would be correct again. It is the Zodiac Killer. All right, let's move on to question number 3. This killer is known for killing 4 or more children in the surrounding areas of Detroit, Michigan. They are known by 2 different names, and I'll accept either one. As a hint, one of the killer's names is typically considered to be an urban legend. Name this killer.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, Kels, what do you got?
The Captain and Tennille.
Not what I thought was going to come out at that moment. And Neil.
I had no idea, so I guess Slender Man.
All right, and Davo.
I said the Hillside Strangler because I didn't know.
The answers for this one are the Oakland County Child Killer or the urban legend name, which you'll all be like, oh, the Babysitter Killer.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, once again, I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell.
All right, final question, and the one that got away. This killer is known for killing, although the state of Georgia has named this killer from 1911. There is not enough evidence to verify it was all done by one killer.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Davo, what do you have?
Well, I remember listening to a true crime podcast. I'm a fan of the true crime podcasts. And they mentioned something about this Atlanta killer. And I know there are a lot of stranglers. There's a Boston Strangler and a Hillside Strangler. I seem to remember this killer was a little more, a little more violent. So I went with the Atlanta Axeman.
All right. And Kels?
I went with high blood pressure.
And Neil, what do you have?
I really like the Atlanta Axe. What did you say? Axe murderer? Axe killer?
Axeman.
Axeman.
Yeah.
Because that kind of sounds like, I mean, if it's not an actual serial killer, it may be just a really great blues guitarist or something, or metal guitarist.
Snap.
But
Yeah, see?
I think the correct
Blues
answer
guitarist.
is. I think the correct answer is Slender Man.
Man, Slender Man again.
Mhm.
Double
He
dose
gets
from
around.
Slender Man. The correct answer is very close to Davo's answer, but it's still wrong. The answer is the Atlanta Ripper. Do we have scores after the one that got away?
That was another rip-roaring round for us.
A ripper of a round.
Okay, so scores at the end of round 4. Davo was 70, Kels 77, and Neil 88. Anybody's game.
All right. Next category. Hopefully we get some of these ones. Is lean cuisine. Question number 1.
Oh,
That's how where this is going.
wow.
This serial killer, also known as the Milwaukee Monster, was convicted of 15 counts of murder in the state of Wisconsin and 1 count of murder in Ohio. He is known for preserving body parts, necrophilia, and cannibalism. Name this killer, and for a bonus 2 points, name the inmate that killed him while he was in prison.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm trying to come up with the inmate. Okay, I'm locked in.
All right, Neil, what you got?
Dama. But I don't know who killed him.
All right, and Kels?
I also went with Jeffrey Dahmer. And his cellmate, I guess Simon Adebisi.
Oh, that would be rough.
Oh my god. I also went with Jeffrey Dahmer, and I have no idea who killed him.
All right, for the question, you would all be correct. It is Jeffrey Dahmer, and the inmate that killed him was Christopher Scarver.
Is he notable besides having killed Jeffrey Dahmer?
Only his claim to fame was killing Jeffrey Dahmer. So,
well, good for him.
I think the only reason. So the only reason why anybody outside of his immediate family knows who he is because he killed somebody more famous than himself. All right, guys, let's move on to question number 2. This killer is known as the Gray Man, the werewolf of Wisteria, and the Brooklyn Vampire. During his interviews with police, he confessed to having cannibalistic thoughts and described how he cooked his victims. Name this killer.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Hey, Kels.
Yeah. Yeah, Davo.
I think we're thinking the same thing here. I think we're...
Please don't do what I think you're going to do.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It's happening. It's on tap.
All right, let's see what it is. Let's go, Davo.
I wrote down Eddie Murphy, a vampire in Brooklyn.
And Kels?
I went with Maximilian, which was Eddie Murphy's character name in Vampire Brooklyn.
Oh man!
All right.
And yeah.
Neil.
I don't think you guys are taking this game seriously. Obviously, the correct answer is Slender Man.
Of course. Why did I say Slender Man?
Who's actually
I
great.
feel so foolish.
All right. The gentleman's given name is Hamilton Howard Fish. Most people know him as Albert Fish. So no points on that one.
Oh, I've heard of him.
That kind of rings a
Yeah,
bell.
I've heard of Albert
I had
Fish.
a feeling.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Authorities went to this killer's home to arrest him for the reasonable suspicion of his girlfriend Alejandra Galena's disappearance, where he was found eating a dish of human meat seasoned with lemon. After his arrest, authorities charged this Mexican writer with killing and eating his girlfriend. Name this Mexican writer.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in.
All right, Neil. What you got, Neil?
You said he was Mexican. I believe the correct answer
Yes.
is Flaco Hombre. That's Slender Man in
And
Espanol.
Kels?
Slender Man. Yes. Yes. Oh man.
I apologize to all our Spanish-speaking listeners.
And Kels?
Flaco Hombre.
I had no idea. I wrote down Luis Guzman.
Oh, he could do that.
Oh, man.
Don't you put that on him.
I didn't say he did.
And,
Just say it, though. He could play this guy, I bet.
and probably
Okay.
could get that one eye kink to the side, just looking at you, looking at the screen. You know it's lemon time.
Oh man.
All right, and Davo.
Um, I didn't know, but Eddie Murphy is such a versatile actor. I went with Pluto Nash.
Wow.
The correct answer is Jose Luis Calva.
Did this happen in Mexico or what?
Yeah, this was in Mexico. Maybe that's
Okay.
why we didn't all hear about it. But down here in the southern tip of the United States, guess what? We hear about a lot of crazy people down
Well, Florida Man
I was
Prime
about
is
to
in full
say,
effect.
you got your own brand of crazy down
there. This is
Yeah.
true.
Just for the record, I was born in Florida, so watch
there.
it.
So,
More southern than I am, I believe, right?
I was born in Cocoa Beach.
Oh, no way. You're probably born at the same hospital as me. Where?
Oh, geez, that was a long time ago. Cape Canaveral Hospital. Was that
Is
the
it
name?
the hospital? Is it Cape Canaveral Hospital? Yeah, I was born in the same place.
Wow,
No lie. Small world, isn't
it
it?
is.
Whoa.
well, I never
Dead
told
serious, born
anybody
in the
this.
exact same place.
I was actually born in
Yeah,
Cocoa
that's
Beach
crazy.
too.
Kels.
You were not.
No way.
Yeah, I was lying.
Cape Canaveral
Why
Hospital?
are you trying
Nah,
to
it
get
was
on our thing?
somewhere else.
Why were you trying to get
Well,
on
I
our
felt
thing?
left out. I felt left out.
We're having a moment here, and you're trying to get in.
let
I mean,
let them have their special moment.
you never had somebody like latch on to a hug.
Well, if we're talking hugs, that'd be
Just-
fine, Kels.
That extraneous third
No, I'll always give you a hug, Kels.
Well, that's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me, Neil.
That's probably true.
Speaking of sweet, I was born in Sweetwater County Hospital in Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Wow. You want to know how small of a world it is? My
Yes.
father was in the Air Force, and he was stationed in Pinedale, Wyoming, which is about an hour north of there.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
It is,
dead
holy
serious.
crap. I know. Holy moly!
Is this another hug? I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to sabotage.
interesting. It's cold.
Yeah,
up
you
there.
gotta
Ever
jump
been
in
to
there,
Wyoming, Kels?
It's really cold.
No, but I've seen it once in a movie.
Question number 4. This German computer repairman made international headlines for killing and eating a voluntary victim. He was originally only convicted of manslaughter, but was later retried and convicted of murder after the German courts ordered a retrial. Name this killer and cannibal.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
I am locked in as well.
All right, Neil
I believe the correct answer is Heinrich Himmler.
and Kels.
Klaus von Bülow.
And Davo.
Eddie Murphy is an incredible actor. The correct answer is Axel Foley.
Very nice. No one got this one right. The gentleman's name is Armin Meiwes.
Midas, like Midas with a V.
It's Meiwes, and I actually didn't know how to pronounce it, so I just YouTubed the video of him saying his own name.
How smart.
Go straight to the horse's mouth, as it were.
Yep. No discrepancies there. That's where it came from. I still find it interesting that somebody was like, yeah, sure, you can eat a piece of my anatomy and kill me voluntarily.
Yeah.
That's the part that always blew me away on that one. You just put an ad in a personals. That's like seeking dinner companion who will be dinner. And someone was sure.
Sounds great. I wonder what I taste like.
Need that Lowry seasoned salt.
Just lemon.
Lemon. Just lemon.
Just a hint.
Ugh.
All right, through 5 categories. Do we have the scores?
At the end of round 5, Davo has 80, Kels has 87, and Niels has 98.
Niels has
98s.
the 98s, yeah.
All right. Final category before the final question is the sound of silence. Question number 1. This song by the Toadies is said to be a continuation of their song I Burn, where the character sets himself on fire. This song depicts his spirit lingering around a lake, trying to lure others into the realm he's now stuck in. Name this song.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right. Neil, what do you got?
I had a very easy decision because I only know one Toadies song, and it's called Possum Kingdom.
And Kels?
I've never heard of the Toadies, so I wrote down I died and in parentheses and you didn't notice.
That's a
Oh,
good song title.
man.
Aw, makes me sad.
So depressing. And Davo, what you got?
I know a couple of Toady songs, and that album of theirs that this song came off of was really good. But I went with Possum Kingdom.
It is Possum Kingdom. All right. Next song, because I don't think any music category or music category in trivia could be without it. Number 2. This Beatles song depicts the actions of a medical student who commits murder. The song's dark lyrics are masked by an upbeat and catchy tune. Name this song.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Kels, what you got?
I had no idea, so I went with the Fool on the Hill.
All right, and Davo?
Helter Skelter.
Oh, you know this song. And Neil?
I think he says Maxwell's silver hammer came down on her head or something like that. So I went with Maxwell's silver hammer.
It is Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
I've
Never
never
heard
heard that song.
You,
Never heard.
well, in a previous episode, you actually said the name of the album that this song is on. So if you've heard Abbey Road, you've probably heard this song. And if you hear it, it will be stuck in your head, I bet. And you'll be like, I have heard this song.
Never listened to Abbey Road.
May have listened to Abbey Road at one point. Can't. I'm not a Beatles guy. I think my previous exploits on this podcast will clearly illustrate that.
All right, let's move on to question number 3. This debut song from Foster the People is considered one of the most popular songs of 2011. The song depicts the homicidal thoughts of a troubled teen. Its dark lyrics are also masked by an upbeat and catchy tune. Name this song.
Locked in.
Locked in.
It doesn't feel so great, does it? Knowing you're all alone.
Since this is the next to the last regular question, I feel confident using my punt because I have no idea. I think I've heard of Foster the People before, but I don't listen to any music very much.
All right, so everybody knows Neil punted. Let's go with Kels.
I believe the song is Pumped Up Kicks.
And Davo?
Pumped Up Kicks.
Better run, better run.
Better run, outrun my gun.
You would both be correct. It is Pumped Up Kicks. All right, final question in category 6. Body Count released this song in their 1992 self-titled album. It was so controversial, the song was removed from the album, and to this date, the original recording has never been re-released. Name this song, and as a bonus, after the album was pulled from shelves, what did the band change on the album cover?
I'm locked in.
Rather reticently.
Well, I don't know what they changed on the album cover.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in.
All right, let's start with Neil.
Well, Body Count is of course Ice-T's metal band, and I think that they had controversy with a song called Cop Killer, and I don't know anything about the album cover.
All right. And Tavo?
I completely agree with what Neil just said. The song is Cop Killer, and I do not know what was on the album cover for the bonus points.
All right, Kels?
I also went with Cop Killer, and I just took a wild guess. Did they add a censored stamp over the cover.
Interesting. The answer to the question is Cop Killer. They actually changed on the front of the album cover. There's a guy standing there shirtless. It's a drawing, and the original tattoo across his chest says Cop Killer, and they removed that and changed it to Body Count.
Body Count recently released a new track.
They
It was
did.
really good.
The new album, actually, I listened to the whole thing, and it was surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be for being so
Yeah.
long.
Their cover of Suicidal Tendencies Institutionalized is a very funny song. I like that very much.
All right, we're down to the final question. Do we have points?
We do. It is 107 for Kels, 110 for Davo, and 128 for Neil.
Ooh.
Anybody's game.
All right. So the final category for famous killers is presidents.
Oh boy.
My wager is placed.
Mine also.
I'm locked in.
All right. Final question. Category is presidents. As we know, 4 U.S. presidents have been assassinated, but did you know 17 presidents had failed assassination attempts on their lives, some more than once? Name 10 of these 17 presidents for points.
I'm going to lock in with what I got. I'm just going to sit here and rattle my brain even more.
Yeah, I'm locked in with 11.
I got 12.
I'm just naming presidents at this point. I got 17, right? Okay, I'm locked in.
All right, final question. As we know, 4 U.S. presidents have been assassinated, but did you know 17 presidents had failed assassination attempts on their lives, some more than once? Name 10 of these presidents. And before I start naming them off, I do have to say, managed to get through the entire game without a trick question until
I think I know
this one.
I know at least one thing that I kind of thought was a trick. Well, yeah, I think at least one of the ones that was actually assassinated also had failed at least one failed attempt.
That is the trick part.
Yeah, I just couldn't
Wait
remember
a
which one.
minute.
I couldn't remember. I hope I guessed the right one.
But there's more than one actually on the list. But I'll start. Number 1, Andrew Jackson.
Nope.
I got that.
Got him.
Number 2, Abraham Lincoln.
Got it.
Nope.
It was a Baltimore plot or something like that, I think.
That's actually correct.
Lord Baltimore.
I was on the fence with that one.
Number 3, William Howard Taft.
Damn. Why would you want to kill
Nope.
Taft? Jeez.
High cholesterol was going to do the job.
Number 4, Theodore Roosevelt.
Got it.
Yes.
Got him.
Number 5, Herbert Hoover.
Got it.
Got him.
Number 6,
That's one of my guesses.
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Got him.
Damn.
Nope.
I did not get it.
Number 7, Harry S. Truman.
Did not get him.
Got him.
Number 8, John F. Kennedy.
Nope.
No.
Number 9, Richard Nixon.
Got him.
Nope.
Number 10, Gerald Ford.
Got him.
Got him.
Number 11, Jimmy Carter.
Got him.
Got it.
Got him.
Number 12, Ronald Reagan.
Got him.
Got him.
Number 13, George H. Bush.
Wait a second. What was the
Herbert
attempt on George H.W. Bush's life?
Let me find out. Man, it could be food poisoning.
That's not an assassination attempt. That's bad kimchi.
Hold on.
Since I'm really bad at this sort of thing, I just kind of started at the most recent one and worked and added every president back through Nixon.
Really?
Yeah.
I got all the bearded guys in between Lincoln and like Teddy Roosevelt.
All right, let's see.
Well, I mean, there was one that was. Well, I heard something.
All right, you ready?
Go ahead.
George H. Bush, April 13th, 1993. 14 men believed to be working for Saddam Hussein smuggled bombs into Kuwait, planning to assassinate former President Bush by car bomb during his visit to Kuwait University.
Okay.
Good.
Satisfactory.
Wait a minute.
Now
Wait.
we are up.
In 1993.
Yeah, George H. Bush.
HW. Yeah.
H.W. Bush.
Yeah, he was president.
Herbal.
He was president from 88 to 92. Well, was it in early January?
It was in April.
So he was.
So
wait,
he wasn't
hold on.
president.
He wasn't president at the time.
So sitting presidents.
Well, I didn't say sitting president.
He did not say sitting presidents. Oh, Trixie, Shai Hulud.
But if you want to scratch it, it's 10 out of 16 if it makes you feel better.
No,
Kels.
Oh, no.
I
like 17.
I answered that, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut now.
All right. Actually, I
Wow.
think that, you know what? It should be sitting presidents, guys. No, I'm just...
Hey,
I was about to say, you talked yourself out of one.
Number 14 is Bill Clinton.
got it.
What?
15 is George W. Bush.
Got it.
The shoe?
Crap.
The shoe? Does that? I mean, he was Matrix with it, but I didn't think the shoe counted as an attempt.
No, actually, somebody fired at the White House on the front lawn.
Oh, I remember that.
Number 16 is Barack Obama.
Got it.
What was that attempt?
Yeah.
Barack Obama plot to assassinate Obama by the Alliance of Civilizations, or at the Alliance of Civilization Summit in Istanbul. I'm trying to see if I can get the guy's name. It just says Turkey discovered a man of Syrian origin carrying forged Al Jazeera TV press credentials was found. The man confessed to the Turkish security service details that his plan was to kill Obama with a knife. And
Didn't somebody send him some anthrax or something too?
I'm reading through. There's two more. Yeah. There's another guy who fired at the White House, which is Oscar Romero Ortega Hernandez. And somebody sent a laced letter with ricin.
Ricin.
And I heard they tried to kill me with anthrax, but I don't open bills.
And, of course, the final one, 17, is Donald Trump.
Got Trump.
Really?
Yeah, just like somebody sent some more junk in the mail to him just last week or something.
And he doesn't even look like the type to open mail.
Well, no, but the attempt was to. Well, I assume it was to injure him, right?
Did anybody get to 10?
I got 8.
I got 7.
My strategy of starting with Trump and working backwards paid off because I got 11.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, because I knew that there had to be some against most of the modern ones because there's so many more crazy people now than there were before. That's my logic.
It was a very good strategy. I was waiting for it to come out in the game, and here it is, the final question.
Oh, dude. Well played, Neil.
And we have final scores, I'm assuming?
Well, I don't know how much Kels and Davo wagered.
All right, Davo, what'd you lose this round?
I bet the house.
Did you really?
I bet the house. Yes.
I wagered nothing.
So 2 zeros. 1 0 is in I left with 0 points. You got it, but I got a participation award. And 1 0 as in I was definitely not going to lose my position. And Neil.
I wagered 93 so I could try to beat Davo. So I ended up with 221.
221.
Hey, Davo, if you add our scores together, you get my score.
Yay.
I thought you were winning today, man.
I felt like I was gonna, but that last question was kind of tricksy.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the group of questions this time.
Well, I
As
did and I
morbid as
didn't.
they are.
Well,
He did.
congratulations to Neil on his impressive win. And if thank you very much to Anthony for some outstanding questions.
Yes, I enjoyed Famous Killers.
And there's no way that can be taken out of context.
Ah. No possible way.
So if anybody listening out there would like to suggest topics for us to research and write questions on, you can find us on Twitter at LadleBrain. You can find us at Facebook, Brain Ladle Productions. You can email us directly, Neil at brainladle.com, Kels at brainladle.com, and Davo at brainladle.com. We also have a YouTube channel, I should say. It's another easy way for you guys to listen to us. And check out the Patreon. If you feel like you have a few bucks you can throw our way to help improve the show, we would greatly appreciate it. So from everybody here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, we've got Kels.
Thanks for coming out, Baba.
We got Neil.
It's been a pleasure. Why do you laugh every time I say anything? You just laugh.
It was the pause that got me. It was just real subtle. Your delivery is like always on point, and I appreciate it.
Very, very true. Very true. And our special guest, Anthony.
Appreciate it, guys. It was fun.
Signing off.
The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.
I don't know if I'd serve people with lemon as a garnish.